consistently and make sure you get those protective styles. Not only that, don't nobody want to be doing their hair every couple of days. Amen. Get a protective style and then leave it alone and go, and you're fine. Sorry.
Please get your inch trimmed. I got my hair styled by Lanice yesterday, and I think maybe 3 or 4 inches.
It was a few inches.
Yes, it was a cut. It wasn't a trim. Because I 5 years natural, and I trimmed my hair, seriously, y'all, 3 times in 5 years. So don't do that. Please trim.
How often should we trim?
You should trim, it depends on how much heat you use. So I always tell clients, if you don't use a lot of heat on your hair, every time the season changes, every quarter, you should be trimming. If you are one of those naturals who blows your hair out often, then I would say every 2 to 2.5 months, the same as you would with the relaxer, I say to go ahead and trim it if you're using heat more often. Personally, I only blow my hair out and flat iron it when I'm getting trims. That took some time. I'm 10 years doing this. Actually, tonight, and then 10 years. 10 years this year. And so tonight, later on, if you guys want to meet me at Graffiato's on Broad, where Pockets used to be, I'm going to be there celebrating my 10 years of natural. But keep forgetting.
The question was how often should you?
Yes. So you want to make sure you trim. And it took me a while to get to this point. When I first went natural, I literally would just wash my hair with anything and let it air dry. That's it. So by my third big chop, by my second big chop, I started trying to take care of it. My third big chop, I was on top of it. And so ever since then, I did like a half a big chop last year. And so, you know, between my third big chop and my half big chop last year, I've been on top of my regimen and stayed on top of moisturizing, but before it was horrible. But you do every quarter, or every 3 to 4 months, and then every 2 or 2.5 months if you're using a lot of heat.
I have another question.
The question right here. Oh, question. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. 2 things. One, I was trying to capture what you were saying about hair shampoo, deep condition, something else, and then seal.
Okay, so shampoo, so S, deep condition, D, leave-in, L, somebody was paying attention, moisturize, M, and then seal, S.
Okay, and then I just heard you speak about big chop 2 or 3.
Oh, you want to do a big chop?
No, I don't.
I tried.
No, is that necessary though?
The big chop?
Yeah.
No, you can get a haircut like Bianca.
Well, she got a trim, but it ended up being 4 inches.
She actually got a haircut. Once you start going above like 2 inches, it's a cut.
Okay. All right.
Anybody
I
else?
was like, no thanks.
My question is, I'm still learning my hair. What is the difference between organic and all natural?
Oh, that's a really good one. Anyone want to answer that?
This is from what I hate the bald hog. I'm sorry. This is what my understanding is. Organic means that when crops and things are grown, they spray chemicals all on these crops and different things that are grown. Organic means that nobody sprayed this stuff with anything. Natural means that I guess it's grown, but it still can have those chemicals on it. So like, and this is kind of off subject, but like when people talk about juicing, that's why it's important to have organic vegetables and fruits when you juice, because if you don't, you're still getting those chemicals and those pesticides.
Yes.
Right.
I'm talking about pertaining to...
As far as pertaining to your hair, okay, there are going to be a bunch of products that, like if it's a stuff that actually is grown in nature, I would say maybe 90% of the ingredients are grown in nature. You would consider that natural or organic. as far as hair care is concerned, we tend to use natural and organic interchangeably within the hair care industry. Well, would you agree?
Yeah, I think we tend to use it the same, but I think there is a difference.
As far as
yeah,
food and yeah.
But I look at all of it the same because
Right.
people put food stuff on it. Where is Jasmine? People put food and bananas and mayonnaise and all that crazy. People put that stuff on their hair. So for me, I look at all of that stuff as the same. It's things you're putting on your skin, your hair, and things you eat. I just look at it the same.
I have a question with curly cuts. Is it better when you cut your hair just wet and it's curly type of state? Like, I mean, because now I know they're more expensive to get a curly cut, but is it really worth it? Do you get a better cut?
Okay, so let me address two things. One is people talk about this diva cut.
Yeah, diva, Sean. That's all that. Yeah.
Just like crochet braids and interlocks is the same thing. Cutting hair is cutting hair. Okay. People put a name on things so they can raise the price. So let me just tell you guys. Right. People name things, certain things, so they can jack the price up. If you come to me for a curly cut, I'm gonna charge you for a haircut. I don't know about diva cuts. I don't know about whatever. Curly hair or cutting curly hair or straight hair really depends on whether the client wears their hair straight more often or wears it curly more often. If you are a client who comes to me and you wear your hair typically in its natural state, I'm going to cut it in its natural state.
Okay.
If you wear blowouts a lot, then I'm going to cut it so that when you blow it out, it's going to look like you want it to look. Okay. So it really depends.
And what is your opinion on wearing the I know it's supposed to be natural hair, but if you put the extensions in, because sometimes I want it to be bigger, right? Like I want to get that really, really big look, and they have like the natural hair care extensions, and I've had people that have put them in that I know, and I actually think about getting them myself because I want a certain look. And so, does it harm with the natural hair care with the extensions, with the curly extensions?
No.
Okay.
With any extensions,
the clip-in ones I was talking about. Yeah.
Anything that you add to your hair, as long as you don't leave it in too long. So that could be braids. Well, first of all, braids, you don't want to get braids if you already got really fragile hair. Okay. But if you are one of those people who like braids, clip-ins, my model upstairs, actually, Jayla, if you go to the table, she has some colored clip-ins. I just added those in today. They're fine. You just cannot leave it in for an extended period of time. Same thing with wigs, because anything you put on your hair, if you're putting something right here, like this is my Negro section of my hair. So if I put something in my Negro section, this is the strongest part of my hair. But if I leave it on there and I leave it on there and it's going to stress it. So whether it's clip-ins, whether it's a wig, whether it's a sew-in, you just don't want to leave it on there too long. My recommendation for extensions or sew-in will be about 2 months, no longer than 2 months. For clip-ins, clip-ins you can kind of take in and take out, so, you know.
Any company that you recommend for the clip-ins? Because I've seen them on different places, but
I don't know. You know what? I have not worked with enough of the natural hair lines to tell you. I worked with one, and the hair was okay. I actually have a client coming in next week to get a full clip-in. She's getting a full set of clip-ins, and I'll be able to have more information once I do some more research on it. But I don't know. No problem.
We have one more question.
Do you guys recommend trends for like toddlers? As far as like the regimen for like natural kids?
Absolutely. If their hair is growing, it should be
as well.
Yeah. The thing is with trims, your ends have been on your head the longest. So it is naturally going to be drier than any other part of your hair. So even as children need to have their hair trimmed as well. But typically the reason why children don't need trimmed so often is because we do braids on them. We do braids, we do plaits, we do cornrows, we do protective styles. So you don't need to trim them as often as you do an adult or a teenager. Because teenagers fry their hair.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. How old should a child be before you get their hair cut?
Like a boy or a girl?
Yeah, boy.
Ooh, it's tricky. this is a personal opinion. I don't know if there's a scientific answer, but when I see children who have, you know how sometimes it takes a while for their hairline to grow in. So it might be thin right here, and then you see thicker hair. I would wait till that grows in.
Okay, we have a question. Can you explain a little about the hydration treatment? Well, what was that again, the hydration treatment?
So what happens is you shampoo your hair, and after you shampoo your hair, so it's like you're doing like a hot oil treatment. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to apply it all the way from your tips all the way to the roots. And then what you do is you take the saran wrap your hair, because you want to make sure that no heat is escaping out of the hair. Okay, so that the moisture is basically circulating throughout the scalp and through the hair. After that, put the aluminum foil. After aluminum foil, put a shower cap, and you sit under the dryer for about a good I'll say 10. Not everybody wants to sit on the dryer forever, so I'll say 10 to 15 minutes. Let it cool down, and then rinse your hair out with cool water so that you can seal the moisture in it.
You have one more question?
So, I'm a big but and I said I had family come in from all over for the 4th of July. But can you go over is it the LCO? LCO. Okay. Yes.
The LCO, L is for leave-in, and when we say leave-in, we are talking about a water-based spray leave-in. Then the C is for cream, so we suggest you have a heavy cream depending on your hair type. So if you're into the hair type system. And then O is oil. You use the oil to actually seal in your moisture.
And people use that L interchangeably with liquid. So I
Right.
either leave-in or liquid.
Yeah, so we would say like liquid leave-in. Like a spray liquid leave-in.
Okay.
Now, I wear my hair natural, short. So I can follow behind the same information.
Absolutely. You still want to moisturize.
Okay, well,
How often do you do the hydration treatment?
Well, I do mine twice a month.
Twice a month.
Yes, I do twice a month. And so we haven't talked about that yet. A lot of times, sometimes you use a lot of products and you get product buildup. And what I do the apple cider vinegar rinse, so that can help to remove buildup. So I'm sure probably anybody want to talk about that to help to remove the buildup off of your hair. You will use the organic kind. Somebody said that they use the regular distilled vinegar one that you get from the store, but I use the actual all natural one, the organic one, to help to remove buildup off of the hair.
It's very great. And you can add that into your deep conditioner too, but it's very potent, so you want to dilute it. It should be 3 to 1 mix. Yes. It should be 1 part apple cider vinegar and 3 parts water.
let's give it up for our panelists.